Hi guys, so do you ever worry about running out of storage on your server? Well, why not buy 2400 terabyte hard drives? Oh, did I tell you the downside? Yeah, it's going to cost you about $1 million. But if you want to see what an Unraid server with a 2 petabyte array looks like, then keep watching. Hey guys, so do you want to know a secret, but promise not to tell? I went to visit my friend Phil at his work the other day, and as luck would have it, I'd brought an Unraid flash drive with me. And what was even more lucky was that his company had just bought a whole load of Nimbus data extra drive SSDs. And these drives are, well, they're pretty big. Each drive is 100 terabytes each. But as well, the price tag is pretty big to match as well. They're $40,000 each, making the cost per terabyte $400 a terabyte. So it's certainly not cheap. You know, as a comparison, do you remember the video that Linus from Linus Tech Tips made a while ago, where he spent $30,000 on an Unraid server that was capable of running 7 gaming setups at once? Well, just one of these hard drives is worth $10,000 more than the whole of that build. And do you remember when Linus made a server that had a petabyte of storage? It had something like 100 10 terabyte enterprise 3.5 inch hard drives. And a petabyte of storage, well, that's a lot. So what would happen then if I managed to borrow 24 of these 100 terabyte enterprise SSDs? Well, not only would it be over 2 petabytes of storage in an Unraid server, it would also probably be the most expensive Unraid server ever built. The hard drives alone would come to $960,000, so pretty much it would be the $1 million Unraid server build. Okay, so I know Phil's company's got a whole load of these SSDs. So maybe if I just asked him nicely, if I just popped my Unraid USB stick into one of the machines here and connected up the drives, if he'd mind me doing that at all. Well, I did ask him, and this was the answer I got back.
Oh, no.
Okay, not really the answer I wanted. What does he know anyway? So anyway, whilst Phil was laughing his arse off and he went to lunch, well, he shouldn't have really left me alone with all those hard drives, should he? Now, you're only allowed to carry on watching this video if you make me one promise that you don't know Phil, or at least if you do, you promise you'll never tell him this ever happened. So quickly, whilst he's gone to lunch, let's quickly set up a 2 petabyte server. Okay, so the server's all up now. I've got all of the hard drives in it. Here they are, look. Wow, look at those 100 terabyte drives, awesome. And if we go across to the Tools tab here, then System Devices, if we look down at the bottom of the page here, we can see all the drives listed here as well. The Nimbus EDD CS100s. Okay, so as Phil doesn't take very long to have his lunch, let's add a bunch of them to the array now. Okay, I've got to be quick. Well, there's the first 10. That's brought it to a petabyte. Now let's add another 10 disks and make it 2 petabytes. Now I'm going to put in a parity drive to protect the array. I'm only going to put one in. At $40,000 a drive, 2 is going to be a bit expensive. And yeah, I know what you're thinking, guys. You shouldn't really use SSDs in an array anyway. No, that's true. Normally SSDs are a big no-no in the array and we should only use them in pools. But this server's only going to be up temporarily. I just want to see what a 2 petabyte array actually looks like. Okay, so let's start up the array and then format the drives. Because obviously all of these drives are unmountable. So let's format these now. Come on, hurry up. Okay, great, all of the drives are formatted. So there we are, a 2 petabyte array. Awesome, absolutely awesome. Now I hope you guys aren't just sitting here watching. You are keeping an eye out for Phil and you will tell me if you see him come back, yeah? Okay, cool, thanks. Let's carry on. Okay, so we've got a few SSDs left, so let's just add some pools. So to add some more pools, I'm going to have to stop the array quickly. I'm going to have to be real quick with this because Phil's going to be back any minute. So to make a new pool, I'm going to click Add Pool. So this first one, we'll just make it the standard cache pool with just one drive. Okay, and the next one, let's make it one drive again. I don't know, let's make this one for Plex metadata. Now imagine the Plex library I'd have if I needed 100 terabytes just to store the metadata. It would be insane. Okay, and lastly, every good Unraid server needs to have its own pool for VMs. So let's add one now. Right, so the pools are created, now we just need to assign the disks to them, start up the array, and then format these multi-pools. Okay, the drives are formatting. Come on, hurry up. Okay, good. Drives formatted. Wow, okay, so look at this server. A 2 petabyte array, with 1.99 petabytes free. And just the space taken up after formatting is 14 terabytes because each drive uses 167 gigs during the format process. Okay, so as well as a 2 petabyte array, we've got multiple cache pools here, each with 100 terabytes in each pool, so 300 terabytes of pools. Wow, awesome. And compare that to the flash drive that the whole OS is running from, a mere 8 gigs. Okay, so wow, what's the time? Let's have a quick look. Oh man, it's 13:58, almost 2 o'clock. And on Thursdays, Phil is always back dead on 2 o'clock. And what's the date? Yep, it is a Thursday, Thursday the 1st of April 2021. But hey, before he gets back, let me just show you one thing. If we look at the name of this server, it's called TARDIS. And for those of you who have never heard of the TARDIS, well, it's a time machine and spaceship from a British sci-fi series called Doctor Who. And it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. And that's very similar to what this server's like, because if we go across onto this other server here, this server here only has one hard drive that makes up the array, and it's only 2 terabytes, nowhere near 2 petabytes unfortunately. It's just an April Fool's joke. It's actually a VM that's running on this server. And here are all of the disks that make up that server. I'm sorry guys, I couldn't resist doing an April Fool's Day joke on you. But maybe let's turn it into a kind of little tutorial right at the very end. So this is Unraid here running as a VM. If we look inside here, here are all of the virtual disks. Now all of these are what are called QCOW2 disks, which means you can set the size of them and they'll never fill up to that size unless you actually fill them with data. So that's how I managed to fit 2400 terabyte drives onto a 2 terabyte hard disk. And what this VM is actually booting from, no, it's not from any of the QCOW2 virtual hard drives, it's actually from this pass-through USB SAN disk, which has Unraid OS and a license installed on it, allowing me to boot up an Unraid VM on an Unraid host. So the VM on the inside is larger than the host on the outside, so that's why I called it TARDIS. And if you look at all of my virtual QCOW2 disks here, the virtual bus they're using is not VirtIO, but you can see I'm using a virtual SCSI bus. And the reason for this, if using SCSI, you can pass through things such as a virtual vendor, a virtual product, and a virtual serial number. This we have to add in the XML. And if we look at my XML here and scroll down, you can see here that the virtual bus is SCSI, but underneath that, by adding these 3 lines here, we can add a virtual serial number, a virtual vendor, so obviously I've called mine Nimbus, and finally a virtual product number, so obviously I've called mine EDDCS100, the correct model number for the 100 terabyte Nimbus data drive. Now if you guys would like me to make a proper tutorial about either installing Unraid as a VM, the difference between RAW and QCOW2 vDisks, all that kind of thing, let me know in the comments below, and if enough people want me to do it then I'll make one. Okay guys, so happy April the 1st, happy April Fool's Day. Now I hope you have as much fun as I did making this video, playing jokes on your friends and family. Now I won't be releasing any other videos today, but from tomorrow I'll be continuing releasing in my All About Unraid 6.9.x series. But until then, it's time for me to go. Now if you liked this video and it gave you a bit of a laugh, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and share the video with anyone who you think might like watching. To all of the people who support this channel, all of my patrons and supporters, thank you so much guys for supporting me, I really do appreciate it. Anyway, it's time for me to go now and upload this video, but whatever you're up to for the rest of the day, I hope it's good, and I'll catch you in the next video.